Other stories today.
It's going to cost you more to heat your home this winter. Utility companies are expecting an increase of at least 150% for natural gas, and they say there is a long list of reasons why.
David Collada is the executive director of the Citizens Utility Board. He is joining us now to talk a little bit more about what we can expect. Hello to you. Always nice to talk to you.
Good to talk to you as well.
Okay, so let's go down the list. What is leading to this rise in prices?
Well, there's really two factors at the end of the day. One is out of control spending by our natural gas utilities. Nicor Gas has been in for several big rate increases over the last couple of years. And in Peoples Gas in the city of Chicago, they have a pipeline infrastructure replacement program that is really out of control when it comes to controlling costs. You put all this together with increased commodity costs because of climate change. And if you recall the extreme winter that we had, for example, in Texas last year, well, that had a cascading effect and an increased natural gas prices across the board. And so it's going to be a tough winter here for Illinois consumers. We're looking at the average consumer paying hundreds of dollars more for heat than they did last year. And at a time when people are having a difficult time paying their bills as it is, that's obviously bad news for Illinois consumers.
And that's an important warning, because we're not just talking about your monthly heating bill going up a couple of bucks. You're saying by the end of the winter, people will have had to spend hundreds more?
That's what it's looking like. The projections are hundreds of dollars more, which will have devastating consequences for folks. A lot of people, especially as we're just emerging out of the pandemic, have had tough times, obviously, and this is just going to make a bad situation worse. We really need to do more as a state and as a country to provide affordable and better heating options for consumers, because the system we have right now is just not sustainable from an environmental or really a consumer point of view at the end of the day.
Okay, but until that happens, we have to come up with a fix right now. So what would you tell the average homeowner to do if they do receive one of these, sort of high bills in the hundreds of dollars more than they're used to paying? What should they be doing?
Well, there are programs out there. There are assistance programs out there for people who are having difficult times paying their bills, and we would encourage folks to look into that. Also, to the extent that you can afford to invest in energy efficiency, there are a lot of very low-cost things that you can do to become more efficient and save money on your bills, and that adds up. And there are programs out there that can provide assistance, and in some cases, free energy efficiency measures. And so we would encourage folks to visit our website at citizensutilityboard.org. We have a whole page there where you can see what options there are around energy efficiency and assistance programs. It's not anywhere near as much as we should be doing, but at least it's something, because obviously this is a very difficult winter we're heading into.
And we checked in with Nicor. Their response is our current gas supply charge includes an unforeseen increase in gas costs due to the February winter storms that resulted in increased prices. David Collada, we just have about 20 seconds left. Who's watching out other than CUB? I mean, are there regulators out there that are saying, yes, Nicor, yes, Peoples Gas, that rate hike is legit?
Well, there are regulators. We certainly think that the state needs to take stronger action to deal with this affordability crisis. I think ultimately, at the end of the day, what we have now is a system that's not working for consumers. It's not working for the environment, and we need to have real alternatives, and we need to put pressure on our policymakers to provide those, because what we're doing right now just isn't working.
All right, David Collada, we appreciate your time this afternoon. Have a good afternoon. Okay.
Thanks for being with us. Well, the Bears' future in Chicago.